Hiya Jane, lovely to meet up with you as always and do some work on your game. Really enjoyed this session. I think so far this year, I appreciate we're only a couple of months in, but this is one of my favourite sessions so far. It was just adding detail to stuff that we've done before, that we've discussed before, which is a good thing. A lot of golfers think that's a bad thing, working on the same thing. It isn't. You're sticking to the process. We're seeing some nice changes. When we look at the swing here on the left, this is you making your practice swing where you're able to think about the moves, you're able to really sort of emphasize things. There's no outcome at the end of it, so there's no need to sort of rescue the shot with the hands or anything like that. The move on the right is the real world. Much diluted version of what we saw on your first few visits, as we saw with the images. We've now got a situation where the right arm is expanding at a much healthier rate. Not quite as good as it does here. You see that the right arm is in a slightly different condition. But like I said, this is in the real world. This on the left is just a drill and an exercise. The main difference really is what we see in the right knee. Now, again, historically that right knee would have been flexed inwards much more than is demonstrated here. But when you look at this swing compared to the swing on the left, you can see here that there's a minimal amount of flex inwards with that right knee. And that has an impact on the way that your impact position would appear. Much quieter with a lower body. Neck tilts are slightly different. That sort of hunched look, cramped look as you described in the past on the way through. So what happens when the right knee overflexes? We talked about that. When the right knee overflexes, that's you lowering the club by dropping the right shoulder, flexing the right knee, drops the right shoulder. That pushes the club too much on the inside. And then once you do that, really it's just a big roll on the way through, which is why those hands wrap over so much on your bad days. So it's just adding detail to the move and appreciating that the way the right arm works and the way the right knee works are directly linked. So the move you're trying to make with the arms is great. You're doing much better than you were. I'm just going to hold this one here now. The drill that we gave you to do was to get the right leg as straight as you can at setup. We use the idea of sort of lifting your leg up. If you're sat on a chair, lift the leg up. So we don't want the leg locked out. We don't want it hyperextended, but we want it pretty straight. So right leg straight at setup, and we want you to keep that right leg as straight as you can for as long as you can. Now when you do this, there's no need to make a full swing. You can if you like. Ideally, I'd like to see you make sort of a 3/4 pass at it. But you start to see the impact that the drill has here now. You can compare to your practice swing. There's a little bit more loading. There's a little bit more of a linear look. So it looks like the pelvis is going forward a fraction more. Just get your actual swing up here, compare the two. So this is your full swing hitting the shot at the start of your session. I'm going to take you down to when the left arm hits the right hip. You can see already here that the right arm is starting to move, or the butt of the club is starting to move away from the right shoulder at a slightly faster rate. The right knee now is not being allowed to flex. Really good position there now. You can see how much more of a linear look you have. Look at the effect it's had on the eyes and the neck. We've got a completely different angle here. Much more level with the head. Much less manipulation of the body. No need to roll and flip. Difference at impact is marked. So you've controlled the flexing of the right knee. That's all we've done in this instance. Your right arm knows what it wants to do. You know what you need to do with that, and you understand the effect that that has on the swing. You've done a lot of thinking about that, but look at the difference in the move through the ball. That is all right knee. It's a case of re-educating the knee what to do, because previously you hung on to the right arm and you dropped the right shoulder. The right knee had to flex for you to hit the golf ball. Now we're not allowing the right knee to flex as much. The right arm can expand at a more gradual rate, which means you don't have to suddenly get rid of a lot of angles at the last minute. So therefore there's going to be a much more passive move through the ball, and you're going to start to get that sort of tucked under finish that you're looking for. So keep the right leg straight, straighten it at setup, keep it as straight as you can for as long as you can. That's going to control the lower body. It's an educational thing, this one there for you, Jane. We're battling a bit of history. Obviously we've had a while playing golf a certain way, but what we've got there now is a drill that, allied to the understanding of what the arm's got to do from the top of the swing, starts to really tidy things up and give you the look that you're after. The more you do the drill, the more you get familiar with the move that you're making on the right hand side, and the easier it is to then take it out onto a golf course. So, you know, keep adding more and more of what you see on the right hand side. I really like that impact position. I think the delivery position there is absolutely fantastic. Top draw. Great session. Have a safe trip. Get some work done out in Spain in the warm weather with a t-shirt on. I'll be freezing in the studio whilst you're doing that. Please don't send me any postcards and descriptions of how warm it is. And I look forward to catching up with you upon your return to do some further work. Well done.